This is my second video, and I had uploaded my first one last Thursday, which was the 27th of February. And today it's March the 3rd of 2025 on a Monday morning. And just this last weekend, I've even been watching more videos, I guess, to see what people are doing. It's something that interests me. And it seems as if, since I've been watching YouTube videos, I've developed attention deficit. That if you can't get my attention in the first few minutes on some of them, that it's hard for me to hang on. But you're going to probably say the same thing about me, but just give me a chance, okay? But anyway, there's so many videos out there, just so many different ones, and I do really enjoy so many of you. Seems like I'm a little bit favorable to people over 50, but I agree that some people are saying that people over 50 or 60 or more have a lot of wisdom, and I hope that I have a little wisdom that I could share with you. But again, I'll just remind you, if you didn't watch my first video, that I'm 73 and I'm a retired school teacher. And I've got a lot of reasons that I wanted to start a YouTube channel, and I'll get into that as we go along. But I mentioned that I have a 78-year-old husband, and we have a 17-year-old adopted daughter who is a senior in high school. And that's a whole book itself, just talking about those two. But one thing I forgot to mention last week, and I can't believe I didn't, is that I am a huge Kentucky Wildcat basketball fan. And I mean, on Saturdays, I am such a basketball fan that people know that my schedule is full on Saturday. So don't call me or ask me to do anything, because my eyes are glued to the TV probably from about 12 till 9 or 10 at night. Is that crazy or what? But anyway, if you haven't heard about the Kentucky Wildcats, you need to check them out. They probably have the biggest fan base of any basketball team, and they'll love you one minute and hate you the next. So you just got to ignore a lot of the negative comments that they make about our dear little players and our coach. But it's just one thing in life that I enjoy so much. So I wanted to throw that out there, because if you've not watched them, they'll be on TV Tuesday night, and you might want to check those out. Hey, and another thing I wanted to tell you is that I would guess 85% of the videos I've watched, people are drinking coffee or hot tea. Well, I'm sorry, but my thing is a Diet Coke with Sonic Ice. And if you've not had Sonic Ice, you're missing out, let me tell you. I drive about 23 miles to a Sonic near me, and I take my big red cooler and I'll buy 2 bags of ice at one time and put in my freezer in the basement, and then I'll bring a bag up and I'll use it. And oh, if you've not tried it, honey, you don't know what you're missing, because it's the best. It's the best ice. It tastes the best. It's not those big chunks that you have to chomp and chomp and chomp. So you might want to try those out. Another thing, when I was a little girl, I had one of these little cork boards where you use push pins in it to put little notes and pictures and so forth on it. And as I was walking out of the garage the other day, I noticed that it was still sitting there, which I'm going to throw it in the trash here any day. But I had a little cutout from the newspaper from years ago. In fact, it's yellow. Look how yellow that is from being posted on that cork board. But there was this dear Ann Landers. You all know Ann Landers. Always gave good advice. Well, she had written this, someone had written this into her. And I don't know why that I had cut the answer off. But anyway, oh, it was just somebody wanting to share a funny joke. So I wanted to read it to you because I thought it was so cute. This woman came into the beauty salon and asked, "Do you know how to stop the hiccups?" A stylist went over to the shampoo bowl, soaked a towel in cold water, came back and smacked the lady right in the face. The woman jumped out of the chair and screamed at the stylist, "Why did you do that?" The stylist said, "You don't have the hiccups now, do you?" "No, I don't," the woman said, "but I didn't have the hiccups. When I came in here, my mother is sitting outside in the car and she's very upset because she has a stubborn case of hiccups. Would you care to go out there and smack her in the face with the wet towel?" Oh gosh, that's kind of corny, I guess. But anyway, maybe somebody will get a little laugh out of it. Hey, we need to try to make each other laugh more instead of gloom and doom, right? At our age, we need to be enjoying life and sharing with others and uplifting others and being kind and good. But there was another story I wanted to tell you, that if you're ever scrolling through Facebook and you see all these different ads and you're so tempted, oh, that's the prettiest sweater. Oh, that pair of pants, I think they would look just great on me. Well, down through the years, I have fell for these ads at least 3 times. The first 2 times was clothing. And if you'll notice the title of the Facebook, like where the Facebook page is coming from, and you have no idea where it is or anything about it, if you don't recognize it, let me warn you, it's probably not good. So I'll never forget, I ordered some paints or something off of one, and finally got here in a little package wrapped up just like tight as a jug. I mean, it was taped just into a little small package. When I opened those were a piece of junk, and just went in the garbage. And I thought, how stupid can you be? But I was. So then I fell for it again, and I ordered for it, but of course this was a different one. They give all these business places different names to kind of catch your attention, and these beautiful models modeling these clothes. I fell again. And again, just this time I laughed at myself. You know, like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So this was shame on me. I should have known better. Well, it's been a few years since I've ordered anything. So a few months ago, I saw these. If you're on Facebook, you've seen them. These quilts, and oh, they're beautiful, and they've got little raised areas, and the material is just luscious. And there was one recently you may have seen, and it has sheep on it, and they're like out in the pasture. And I've got a bedroom that's green, and there was a lot of green color in this. And the sheep, oh, they were so beautiful. It just looked like they were just out there eating grass. And they're raised up from the quilt like they've got a little stuffing underneath them. And I thought, that would be beautiful on my bed. So guess what? I fell for it again. Now, I don't know about the third time. Double shame on me, I guess. But it was nearly $100. So I just jumped right in there and ordered it. Well, it just took forever for it to come in, and I kept watching for it, and I was a little scared because I thought, uh-oh, I could fall for, a trick again. Well, guess what? I did. When I took that thing, and whenever I got it in the mail, it was in one of those little tight, it was just I thought, how in the world can a full-size quilt be stuffed into a small bag like this? They must run it through a wringer or something, and it was taped where you couldn't hardly get in it. And I just dreaded opening it because I knew as soon as I saw that package what it was going to be. So I opened it up. The little sheep were not raised. They were not eating grass. They were just lying flat. That material was the cheapest, lightweight, yuckiest feeling that you've ever seen, and it was just, and I thought, how stupid. Hey, but I'm not calling myself stupid, okay? So anyway, I promise that I've learned my lesson. I folded that thing up and crammed it back into that package and took it out to a church that has a little building where they give stuff away, give food, I mean not food, but clothing and different things. And I take a lot of stuff there for them to sell or give it away, whatever they do with it. I didn't even get the thing out and put it on the bed just to see what it would look like. I just folded it back up and thought, okay, if that's not enough. So there was $100 down the drain, but whatever. Maybe somebody that got that $100 needed it more than I did. So I guess they did. Another little story I wanted to tell you is about my brother. Now, I told you I'm 73. My brother would have been 76. He was 3 years older than me. And my parents, my dad was an old-fashioned Baptist evangelist. He didn't ever pastor a church. He just was evangelist. And if there was church going on anywhere, we were there. We went. I mean, we went to revivals that lasted weeks at a time. We went on Saturday morning services, Saturday night, you name it, I've been there. And my parents, you know, were big prayer warriors. My mother was such a prayer warrior, and also my dad. My dad, which, you know, it says in the Bible that God is supposed to be number one in our lives. Well, God was number one in my dad's life. That was his life, was serving God. Well, in around 1970, I may have had the dates a little bit wrong, my brother had graduated from college, and he was teaching at a local elementary school in our county. And that was the time the draft was going on, the war in Vietnam. And he got drafted. They took him out of the classroom and drafted him. So he went to basic training, and then he came home for a little bit, and then he got orders that he was going to Vietnam. So they flew him to California, and of course there were a lot of guys out there getting ready to go to Vietnam. And they had posted a list on the bulletin board of who was going where. He called my dad and mom the night before he was to ship out to Vietnam. And he said, well, I'm leaving in the morning for Vietnam. And my dad said, no, you're not. He said, we've prayed and the Lord has said, you're not going to Vietnam. And he said, Dad, my name is on the list to go to Vietnam. And my dad said, well, you're not going. And do you know that the next morning, my brother went down to check the list again, and his name had been removed from the Vietnam list, and he was sent to Okinawa for like a year and a half, I think it was. Now, if you don't think God answers prayer, right there. Okay, that video that I was making just went kaput. I don't know what happened, so I will see if I can add this one on. But to finish that story, my brother did not go to Vietnam, and of course my family was just so thrilled. And he spent his time in Okinawa, just a peaceful place where he used to sing this song till the storm passes by. And he said sometimes when the storms would come up there and they were looking out at the ocean, that he would sing that song, you know, because the Lord will keep you safe through the storms. But God has answered many prayers for my family. But I wanted to share that with you, and I will close and hope to see you soon. Remember to make peace where you are and be content and try to be happy. See ya.